Welcome back into Eye on Agriculture. I'm Keith Grant. Now check this out. The Guam sihek is an endangered species with only 141 birds left in the entire world, and one of those right here in Kansas. In June, a female chick hatched at the Sedgwick County Zoo, and soon she'll be released into the wild as part of the sihek recovery project. She will be taken to an island just south of Hawaii to join the last of her species in an environment free of natural predators. Well, it's a topic that impacts every American voter. Get ready to hear a lot about grocery prices in the run-up to November's elections. But what's the real deal with food prices and inflation? Karen Kafa explains.
Presidential candidates aiming for the kitchen table.
Grocery prices have skyrocketed.
I will take on the high costs that matter most to most Americans, like the cost of food.
An element of the economic debate that hits every voter. Last month, overall inflation slowed to its lowest level since March 2021. But when the rate of inflation decreases, prices are still rising, just at more normal rates. Grocery inflation peaked at a year-over-year increase of 13.5% in August 2022 and has steadily fallen. Last month's report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed overall grocery prices up 1.1% year-over-year. But Joseph Balaktis, professor of agricultural economics at Purdue University, says individual items will still see spikes based on supply, demand, and external factors. Like eggs, for example, up 19% over 1 year ago because of avian flu.
Egg producers, poultry producers have to destroy birds, flocks of birds that would otherwise lay eggs and produce chicken meat. And so we have a reduction in the supply of eggs and higher egg prices.
And beef and pork prices, too, mostly due to summer demand. Grocery prices are up about 20% since the pandemic year in 2020, which means a $100 grocery cart now costs $120. One bright spot for consumers, wages are growing faster than food inflation. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kafa.
All right, and for more stories like this, just visit the Eye on Ag section on the 12 News app. Thanks for joining us.